Okay, hello. This is Peter Kim, and this is actually my Rails project code along walkthrough slash walkthrough. Okay, so today, first, I'll actually mainly be going through the nested resources. So currently, I made a recipe manager. Basically, I have a recipe model and an ingredient model, and they're joined by a recipe ingredients join model, join table. Um, so under recipe, I want to nest ingredients under recipes. So actually, I would the first thing I would do is actually make sure that my recipe model can accept nested attributes. So actually, I tell it that it accepts nested attributes for ingredient right here. So now the recipe model can actually accept attributes for ingredients because I actually told it to using this macro. So now, first thing I would do is actually go create my migration, which I actually already have. I actually created a join table migration. And then if you look at the schema, this join table has recipe ID and ingredient ID, meaning that they can access each other. And in order to do that, you actually also need as many ingredients through recipe ingredients. You have to tell it specifically. And so, yeah, so the next thing I would do is make sure your your routes are working. So let's go check our config routes file. And voila, I actually don't have it nested right now. So let's do resources ingredients, and then just to make sure, I would run rig routes. Make sure that it's there. If you scroll up, yeah, so the nested routes are there that I need. Recipe ID, ingredients ID, yeah. So they're right there. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do now that I know that the routes exist is I'd create the view. So let's actually go to edit. I've already rendered the form partial right here. However, currently have I don't have what's it called? I don't have it for nested attributes for the ingredients. So first I would create the checkbox. So f% equals f collection checkboxes ingredient IDs ingredient dot all ID name. Okay. I also want to give the user the option of creating a new ingredient from the recipe form. So let's do that real quick as well. F% equals f dot fields for ingredients. ingredient field and ingredient fields. Actually, I want to do a label, and then we would do like new ingredient name per se, and then next we would have to do ingredient fields dot text field and then name. Okay, so we created the view. So if we actually go to Rails S and let's say we go here, new recipe, there we go. So we actually have new ingredient name here. We actually have new ingredient name here, and then we would be able to input new ones, and then the ingredients that are already in my database are showing up as checkboxes, which is what we wanted. Okay, now so that's working. Great. So the view is working now. It just won't work in the back end, and so what I want to do next is I want to go to recipe. I want to go to recipe controllers actually. Yeah, so I actually want to tell it to basically accept that the ingredient attributes from the params hash. Attributes. And then we're only accepting name for right now, so let's just tell it to accept the name in that array. And so yeah, and so in order for this to actually add that ingredient to the current recipe, we would actually have to create a method in the recipe model, and then which would be called the same thing. So def ingredients attributes equals and then so we want to use actually find or create create by ingredient. We want to define or create by because we don't want repeats in our database about the same ingredient. We just want to reuse if it's already in the database. So that's why we're doing find or create by here. And this next line basically shovels in the new ingredient into the recipe's ingredients array. And so now that we've actually added that method, it should actually it should work. So let's test it out. Okay. So let's just go to localhost. Okay, so let's do like something like mac and cheese. Let's just say cook it, and then let's just say I'm just gonna put in, alright, let's just say shrimp mac and cheese. There we go, shrimp mac and cheese. So shrimp, and then let's say that we also are gonna have cheese. And so voila, we have shrimp and we have cheese as well. And if you look at the nested show page, it actually goes to the shrimp's recipe and then it accesses a nested ingredient route. Same with cheese. And then we could do edit recipe, and then let's say we want to add macaroni, update, and there we go. We have macaroni as well. Now, so actually we want to add a quantity. I actually have been struggling with adding quantity because I'm not actually doing it through a recipe ingredients controller. I'm actually doing it through, trying to do it through basically. I'm just trying to add it with it right here, but changing attributes on a join table through one of the other tables that it's joining together it's pretty difficult. So actually, let's see. So so essentially right here I want to tell it to have a quantity. So I would do, I would possibly do something like f.fields for recipe ingredients, and then we would do so actually ingredients right here, when we create this, it's creating a join table relation. But how would we access that specific one? Yeah, let's just look it up. How to edit join table attribute from as many through. Okay, nested forms maybe. Alright, so let's see. Hmm. Um, let's do has many through join model attributes. So actually currently I'm actually displaying the quantity here. By actually finding the recipe ingredient related to both the ingredient and the specific recipe. However, I'm not able to update it currently or create it. Yeah, or update the quantity value on the join table. So I'm just kind of stuck on that. So yeah. Um, Maybe I could just edit it here next to each checkbox. Huh. Because this one each has an ID. Um, I don't know how that would work. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, so what I initially want to do is when you create that new ingredient, you kind of just tell it a quantity. Um, However, right here, I feel like we're actually unable to get a ingredient ID until we actually create it. Um, and so, right, we're unable to access this new ingredient that's going to be created, the ID of that ingredient here, which is essentially what we want to do. So, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. Adding attributes. Join table of has many rails. Maybe. Huh. Maybe I'll try to um no, that won't work. Okay. Yeah. So it would be easy if the quantity value actually lied in the ingredients table, but since it lies in the actually let's try this. So let's do f dot fields. No, not f dot fields, for f dot text field quantity, let's say. And then so quantity. So quantity will be in the hash. Um, let's actually do it in the update for now. Yeah, so let's not put quantity in this params, but rather let's actually do at recipe ingredient recipe dot no recipe ingredient find by, let's say, recipe ID is params ID. Alright, for now, let's just try ingredient ID. Then this one will be params.require recipe.permit. Let's just do ingredients IDs. And then we'll do at recipe ingredient equals dot update, and then we'll do params require recipe permit quantity. Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's not gonna work, but let's just see what we're getting. Okay. Yeah. Um. Oh yeah. So. Oh, whoops. Let's try that. Right, because they don't have a quantity. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Of course, because quantity actually lies on ingredients, so we would have to do a field for recipe ingredients. Yeah, that just doesn't work. I don't know how you would do it from one of the tables that the join table is joining together. Yeah, that's difficult. Yeah, let's just get rid of that for now. Yeah. Okay. let me just save this, and that's it for now.